Hello guys, and welcome to another log of Digimon Color version 5. And for today's log we have Cyclomon. Yeah, Gazimon has evolved. But anyway, before I continue with today's log, just have to say if you're a fan of Digimon or raising virtual pets, you've come to the right channel, because this channel focuses on raising Digimon and I upload at least twice a week. So if you like such content, go ahead and burn the like and subscribe button with Cyclomon's Hyper Heat and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. Alright, let's get down to today's log. We have Cyclomon from Digimon Color version 5. I've been looking forward to raising this Digimon because I hardly get to raise it when I was playing with Digimon version 5 when I was young. It's not easy to get Cyclomon's evolution. It is one of those evolutions that requires some kind of specific care conditions. You need to raise this Digimon with a certain number of care mistakes and a certain amount of overfeeding, but train but not too much. If you train too much, you don't get him as well. So it was really hard. The only times I managed to get a Cyclomon was when I used the tab cheat, where you put in this plastic tab and just keep resetting the device until you get a randomly generated Digimon. So it was a cheat that worked on the old device. So now I get to raise my actual Cyclomon on this device. It's fun. But anyway, before we continue, as usual, we talk about etymology and origin of his name. Cyclo is short for Cyclops, the one-eyed giant from the Greek mythology. And of course, based on the artwork, you can tell that it has a one eye. So I guess that's where it got its name, because it has only one eye. But technically you should pronounce it Cyclomon. In the dark version they call it Cyclonemon. In that case it would be referring to the term cyclone, which is more like a if I'm not wrong, a tropical storm or something. Has a very different meaning to it, not so much about the fact that it has one eye, so I think that is slightly different. But yeah, cyclone is more like a storm. Not exactly how I would have named it. Not sure why they had to rename it. But anyway, another thing to talk about is its design and analysis as well. And you can read that off Wikimon. But just like the other champion evolutions in Digimon version 5, it is based off the Godzilla franchise as well. So Cyclomon in this case seems to be relating to the Godzilla monster Gigan. And if you look up Gigan, it's a space monster that really looks like the Cyclomon sprite here as well. Even more so than the thumbnail, or at least the black and white version. So if you look up the black and white sprite of Cyclomon and compare it to Gigan, the kaiju from the Godzilla franchise, you can tell that it's basically a Gigan sprite. And of course, now that we have Cyclomon's artwork and the colored version of this sprite, looks more like Cyclomon. But back then on the black and white version, you can totally tell that it's basically a black and white sprite of Gigan, just like the many other champion evolutions that we'll be covering in this series of logs for version 5. So we'll talk more about that whenever we get to the other version 5 champions as we go along. Let's continue with Cyclomon's profile. It's a one-eyed dragon man Digimon with an abnormally developed right arm. Once a brawny dragon warrior, Cyclonemon had its right eye crushed by the warrior Leomon. Oh, I never knew that, transforming it into a demon of revenge. It strengthens and grows its arm larger in order to defeat Leomon and hunts for a chance at retribution. Shedding its pride as a warrior, it is now a maddened combatant who thinks only of slaughter, all for the sake of revenge. Cyclomon uses its special move Hyper Heat to melt any and all things. Right, that's cool. I never knew that about Cyclomon and its lore against the Leomon. So that's interesting to know. I think it looks good. Anyway, and enough about his profile. Let's take a closer look at his sprite, shall we? Alright, and here we have Cyclomon or Cyclonemon on the device. I think it looks really good. I think the color really makes it pop a lot more. It's shaded really well, different shades of yellow and black, and it really resembles the artwork. Of course, you can't compare it to if he were to be featured on the Vital bracelet. I think that sprite will be even clearer, but I think this is what we can get from a 16 by 16 pixel device. Even back on a black and white 16 by 16 pixel, it does somewhat look a bit like Cyclomon already, but with the coloration I think it looks even better. Let's give it a piece of meat, shall we? It looks cute when it's eating. Very nice design there. And let's give it some protein as well, because we need some energy for him to battle. Alright. Yeah, because I emptied his energy bar, trying to rack up some wins to get on that background for the 100 win backdrop. Get a special D1 Grand Prix background when you win 100 times when connecting to another device. Yeah, so I've been doing that using Cyclonemon and some of the other evolutions like Raidenmon as well. This is happy animation. Let's look at this happy animation again. I think it looks really good. I like the fireball sprite. It just looks great. That's what the fireball sprites are one of my favorites on the original device. Yeah, very, very nice. And that's Cyclonemon's happy and angry animation. I think it looks great. Very cute. I'm surprised though with the fact that its profile has a giant arm, that they didn't choose Cyclonemon to be one of the Digimon that uses that punch. Instead they gave it a Cyclomon, but to be fair, the fireball, its profile does have the description Heat Viper as its finishing move, so I guess that's where the fireball comes from. But the giant arm just like throws me off. Like, could very well be a Digimon that throws punches. That's how it says no. You bares his teeth. Let's look at his sleeping animation. I think it sleeps at 10, if I'm not mistaken, or 11. It's a night owl, sleeps late. And that's the sleeping animation. I think the sleeping animation is just adorable. It looks really, really cute. That's Cyclomon sleeping. And that's it for today's log, really. Cyclomon doesn't move when it sleeps. If you haven't already, please go ahead and burn the like and subscribe button with Cyclomon's Hit Viper, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.